Three, two, one, go.
And we're in. Welcome,
We're here.
everybody. We are What Are We Going to Talk About? You can see us on what?
BitChute.
BitChute, of
BitChute,
course.
that's a new one. Spotify, Apple Music, and
YouTube. And we have an Instagram where we post most of our stuff. Follow us.
Follow us to see when new episodes are coming up.
And we are putting out clips now. For those of you who don't want to listen to 3 hours of us talking or 2 hours of us talking, you can see about 5 minutes of the good stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But today we have...
Matthew Rable.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about yourself, Matt.
Matthew Rable, just graduated from the University of Cincinnati, so I'll be working as a nurse soon. And I'm a wannabe DJ and producer.
Not a wannabe.
Well, working on it.
You got something out on SoundCloud?
I do want to be a producer and a DJ.
Have you been paid to be a DJ, to DJ places?
I have been paid a few times by bars.
Then you're a professional.
Let's go.
If you're being paid for it's not a hobby anymore. It's
I lost my amateur status.
Yeah, definitely. If you're getting paid for it, you're definitely not a hobbyist anymore.
This is our first professional musician we've had on so far.
It is.
What do you have to say about that, Matt?
Disclaimer, not a professional.
Also, you'll notice we're not using any of our advertised things anymore. Sponsor us. We got our first sponsor for the podcast, Toby Oil Company out of Maria Stein. If you're a farmer out there and you need some oil, hit them up.
Oh, hell yeah.
And also, Frank sponsors us. He's a graphic designer, and I do marketing.
So
pay us.
We want money.
We do.
Nah. So you graduated. What'd you graduate?
With a nursing degree. Mm-hmm. So.
And then you might pursue a graduate program, right?
So right now, it was going to be with a lot of anesthesia stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Grades might not allow me to do that. So we're going to fall back. Not really a fallback, something I still want to do. So we're looking at nurse practitioner stuff. Depending on how much I like the unit, I'm going to be working on a psych unit. So psychiatric nurse practitioner. They make good money. Good job. Job security is going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a need for nurses. There's a need for... NPs are kind of oversaturated, but psychiatric NPs, there's always going to be a need for them. So I'm not too worried about that.
Well, especially with how much people's minds are getting messed up today, it seems like mental illness is on the rise. It seems like
at least it's a good thing that the awareness of it's definitely being brought to more a mainstream form of media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's healthy to talk about it and to realize it's an issue for sure. And hopefully you can help some people out there, man. I believe you can.
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to do that?
Medical stuff was always interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side of that, I grew up liking history and loving all history stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do anything with a history major.
Yeah, that's the part. You can teach.
It's fun, though. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's good to know, too. I mean, you can learn from it.
Frank's an amateur historian.
I like history. History's good.
And also Stolly's not here.
Yeah, oh yeah, Stolly isn't here. So
he's hanging out with the in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Priorities.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we're not as cool
as the in-laws.
Yeah.
Just joking.
We'll catch them on the next one.
So are you gonna be working down there?
Yeah. So I have a job at Cincinnati Children's.
Mm-hmm.
In the psych department. So there's psych departments in a separate building from the main campus one. So I'll be going back and forth from there.
Now, Matt, you were talking about you had you're going to get a temporary license or something like that.
So amidst all the COVID situation, what some states are, I think all states might be doing it.
They're expediting the process of becoming it.
Yeah, so they're making it a lot easier for that to happen to help with the influx of patients. So to get people out of school into the workforce as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I get my authorization to test, which I'm still just waiting on, to take my NCLEX, promptly after I should get a temporary license, which I'm able to work with, and I think it's up to 6 months after the situation is officially declared over. But I would just like to take the test as soon as possible and not have to worry about that. I'd
course,
like to know in my head at least, like,
Get it out of the way.
I'm a nurse, not a temporary nurse.
Yeah. I definitely see why you'd want to do that.
That's going to be interesting, man. Because there's probably a lot of people in your class especially who are going to have the temporary license and jumping in there.
The dynamic's definitely weird.
Mm-hmm.
Especially how school came to a closure.
Mm-hmm.
And
How much did that change your routine?
I got really, really lazy. I got classes got moved to online, and it wasn't pre-recorded lectures with notes and stuff. It was on.
Zoom?
It wasn't Zoom.
Was it? It was probably like the school. There was probably like a school
Was
one.
it live lectures, though?
Yeah, they were live lectures, and they took attendance by us putting our. You either participated in the chat with a question, typing, not through the voice, or you typed your name at the end.
Dang.
So
how big are your classes?
I think we had 150 in my class. I might be wrong.
So like part of the participation grade or something like that is typing in something in the chat.
Yeah. So what some people would do, not me, obviously. You turn on the lecture. I'm not getting in trouble. I'm already done.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. You turn on the lecture. You turn the sound off. You go back to bed. Set an alarm. Wake up. Type your name. Move on to the next one.
Dude, we had the same deal when I was at OSU. But you had to have everyone had to download an app on their phone, and you had to actually answer questions like throughout the class, or you wouldn't get any participation. And but the nice thing was you had the choice of going to the lecture or not.
Okay. What, just online classes that you were taking?
No, that was they were kind of hybrid. Like just when I was taking classes, some of the big lectures, they would give you the option of you could just watch it.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird, man. I prefer being there. For me, it helps me focus.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm sitting at my desk, like my last semester of school, luckily I had a real light class load because I went hard earlier on, but oh, man.
You can do it. You can, don't get me wrong, you can do it, but you got to have a lot of discipline
to learn something. The classes are easy, but to learn something from the classes, actually get the value that you paid for, I think it helps for me personally to be there.
Yeah, I definitely I have no discipline with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely need to have like an in-person, need structure.
There's too many distractions. Like you're on the internet.
Gosh. Well, in my room are all my distractions. I have all my instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I have my my DJ decks, my keyboard, a couple guitars and stuff. My laptop is an instrument with all the producing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have zero motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
What kind of laptop do you run?
Huh?
What kind of laptop do you have?
A Razer?
Those are nice.
It cost me my whole stimulus check. I got my stimulus check at about 6 a.m, and I spent it by 3 p.m.
That's what they wanted to spend it on.
Matt Rable is out here stimulating the economy.
They wanted to do that, though. They wanted people to do that. Spend it on crap like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, hoarding money isn't going to help anything.
No, yeah.
You need to spend the money.
That's kind of what's happening is everyone's hoarding all this money that they're printing. And so all the prices the supply is still there, but the demand's not. So we're going to go through like a little deflationary period. And then once everyone's like completely ready to go out and spend, they have all this stored money. And so the supply is not going to be there, but the demand will.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like everyone just has a ton of shit. Matt, you seem to be someone who has a bunch of shit. We were talking about you moving out the other day. That's going to be a process.
I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder by any means, but it's just weird. I haven't moved since sophomore year. I moved from the dorm and then I moved into a house. And then I've been there ever since. So the last 3 years, I guess just by natural living, you just don't you don't understand how much stuff you accumulate over.
Mm-hmm. And it's not I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because you just never know when you might need something.
For sure. Instruments are a cool thing to have, I think. They give you versatility.
Well, I remember moving in, we brought a U-Haul trailer and I had a desk, like a big desk. It was a dresser and there's a bed. Well, those are all staying. Mm-hmm. So that'll drastically.
Oh, yeah, that'd be easy then.
It's really just clothes, coolers and stuff like that, like extra stuff, and then like equipment, like instruments and stuff like that. So we'll see. I still don't know where I'm living next year.
So what instruments are you playing now?
Muscle my way through keyboard, muscle my way through guitar.
Once you get the keyboard down, it makes a lot of other instruments pretty
Well,
easy.
piano translates pretty much to almost anything.
Except like anything bass and bass clef.
And I feel like you have good experience from for piano just from playing the, what do you call it? Not the xylophone, but the
Marimba and stuff.
Yeah, in band.
They're laid out pretty much like a
I mean, it is. That's why they want you to take like piano lessons growing up. And I was kind of a little shit about it and didn't.
Did your family try to make you do piano?
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
Fair enough. What do you think, Frank? Would you make your kids try to play piano or something?
I would let them try it. I'm not gonna force them to do it.
It's a weird thing because you want them to do it, but if you force them to do it,
Yeah.
they're not gonna like it. And
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you might have to push them because it's like
Well, there's a difference between like pushing it. Like, there's a difference between like encouraging it and being like,
you
all
have
right,
to do this.
we're gonna lock
Yeah.
you in this room,
Exactly.
and until you know Beethoven's Fifth, you're not eating, you don't get water, you're stuck here.
That's one extreme.
We made fun of someone in high school because we figured that's what happened for them.
Who?
Am I allowed to say names?
Sure.
Oh, Hannah Stroth.
I don't even know Hannah Straw. Oh yeah, okay.
She was 2 years older than us. We made jokes about that. So,
But
sorry,
it probably
Hannah.
benefited her.
Oh, she went to BG for, I think it was opera, and I think she got a gig somewhere, or she got accepted to another school to further that.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, good for her. She was good at piano. She's
She's an excellent singer.
yeah, she's fantastic.
And that's the only way you get like the greats. To be honest, is the ones that were like
Forced.
yeah. It's
Maybe
like
so.
it was. Wasn't Michael Jackson like that? I'm pretty sure Michael Jackson was kind of in that position where he was kind of forced down that path with the Jackson 5.
I've heard some wild stuff about Michael Jackson specifically. I don't know how much you guys know or I've read about, but there's like all sorts of conspiracy theories about him specifically.
He's
whether
alive.
He's not alive, but some people say he was castrated as a young kid. to
I'm
keep his
fairly certain he
voice.
was castrated. That's the there is the Carcellos, not the Carcellos. The Vatican used to do that. They would
choir boys,
Yeah,
right?
the choir boys. So they would have their voice. There was last one was just early 19th century.
Does it have to do with like the lack of testosterone?
Yeah, because their voices. Well, so you have like it's so you can have I believe it's so you can have a high. With testosterone, you can't have a body voice high pitched. Which
Okay, I know
because
what
you
you
have a
mean.
body voice and you have a falsetto, like a body voice is like this and a falsetto is like this, like.
Yeah.
And so you can't the body voice. You can't have a high pitch with testosterone. It just doesn't work. Let me see if I can find.
While we're looking that up, same thing, and we were talking about it earlier about like the Bruce Lee thing. Apparently, he had one testicle. That's why he had to work out so hard to maintain his physique. Can you imagine if he?
Dude, I think a lot of people, as long as they got the right one, like one nut's more important than the other.
Castrato.
Castrato, yes.
They were Italians. They were a type of classical male singing voice equivalent to that of a soprano, mezzo soprano, or contralto.
Thank
The
you,
voice is
Wikipedia.
produced by the castration of the singer before puberty, or it occurs in one who, due to an endocrinological condition, never reaches sexual maturity.
So basically, their voice never gets deeper. It just stays.
It prevents a boy's larynx from being transformed by the normal physiological events of puberty. As a result, the vocal range of the prepubescent is largely retained, and the voice develops into an adulthood in a unique way.
And Michael Jackson was the most talented of the Jackson 5. No doubt about it, man. You see him as a little kid. There's videos of him performing. Stud.
Dude, that's probably why he was like liked being around kids and stuff because he never had a childhood. He was
Never had
still
a
kind of
childhood.
a kid.
Still kind of kid. Some people think that his mother was actually Diana Ross. Who's
What?
Like who's like a family friend of him, and she's said all this stuff. I loved him like a mother. I loved him as his mother. Stuff like that. And he looks like her. And some
That's
people say
crazy.
that he was purposely trying to look like her, and other people say that it's he's her son, and she couldn't raise him because she was too young when she got knocked up.
Yeah.
So she gave him to the Jacksons because she knew it was like a musical family.
Here it is.
Yeah,
Curious
yeah,
theory
like,
that
people really
Michael
think that.
Jackson's real parents were Diana Ross and Smokey
Robinson.
What?
Yep. Wild stuff. But I'm not a huge Michael Jackson guy, to be honest. I
Dude,
just
he
think
was an
it's all
amazing
interesting.
singer. He definitely was a good singer.
King of pop. That's high praise. He's got some good songs.
Dude, he was such a good performer. Like,
Smooth dancer.
Oh yeah, dude. The dances, like people would go crazy for the
Iconic.
dances.
I think part of it was the timing too, because you listen to some of his songs, Black or White, Man in the Mirror, stuff like that, like dealing with like polarizing issues at the time. Those are always going to attract attention.
Oh yeah,
It probably helped that he was already established by then too, but
definitely.
An icon. Rest in peace. I remember hearing the news that he died. I was going to basketball practice.
I think I was in Mexico.
Really?
Oh wow. What are you doing in Mexico? Vacation?
Yeah, probably
Oh,
enjoying
gotcha.
time in
Cocaine
Mexico.
off hookers, bro. Went to Tahiti and
You know, when I was always thinking about moving to San Diego, I was always like, hey, does anyone want to move out here with me? And my selling point would always be, you know, it's right across the border from San Diego.
Tijuana.
Tijuana.
Yeah.
is Tahiti even in Mexico? Or did I mean to say
I
Tijuana?
think you meant Tijuana.
I did mean Tijuana.
That was the one place that like
I think Tahiti's like something in Peru
yeah, I think so. You're right too.
or somewhere in South America.
Fair enough.
I don't know if I'll be
My geography is terrible.
Tahiti.
Good luck with that one, Frank. Only thing worse than my geography skills is
It's,
my spelling.
Oh, it's a
in
Polynesian island.
Yeah, so it's way out there. Oh
Nice.
wow.
It's almost not even. Wow. It's such a.
It's wow.
It's far
way off.
That is an island in the middle of nowhere, folks.
I had no idea Tahiti was. It's like thousands of miles off the coast of South America, west in the Pacific.
It's like right in between. Well, at least on a flat map between Australia and
The world's flat.
South America.
The world's flat.
Look it up. Stay woke.
That's insane.
Never go beyond the walls.
The ice walls, the ice walls.
The White Walkers are waiting for us.
That just baffles me because, like, the first thing my cousin said when he came to visit, he lived in Alaska, and he was like, "Dude, there's so much more horizon. Like, you see the horizon. Like when in Alaska, you can see the curve of the Earth
Why?
just because
so
you're
far north?
you're in the pole.
but
Yeah.
it's flat.
What do you mean curve?
Curve.
Yeah. My favorite flat Earth thing is All Gas No Brakes, the YouTube channel.
Oh, dude, you ever seen All
that,
Gas No Brakes?
All
Highly recommend
gas.
it.
My
No
my
brakes.
favorite thing. So if you go onto the Flat Earth Society website and you go to their FAQ, if you want to pull it up, the first question in the FAQ is this real?
I don't even. What is the Flat Earth Society?
You don't know their website?
I don't know.
You're not a monthly patron.
Yeah, what are you doing, bro? That's a good one.
I don't even know. Oh, here it is.
Supposedly, the whole thing started as a prank, and then people just bought into it.
Where's their what?
They might have changed their website.
Are you spreading fake news, bro?
Or is this the website? Flat Earth Society.
Yeah,
There's a couple.
I feel like that.
We're giving them ad revenue by clicking on
No,
their sites.
where? Type in FAQ and see if that pulls up like. Is that it? No,
I say we skip on, boys.
it's. I think that's it right there.
The joke's been made.
Yeah, are you are you serious? So are you serious? Yes. Are you controlled opposition? No. And then if you ever have free time, I recommend reading through all these. And all it does is just if you're ever down and you need to feel good about yourself, just go through and read stuff like this.
And it's like we just launched a rocket into space.
Allegedly, Frank.
Allegedly, right?
That's NASA. What does NASA stand for? Never always sell lies. NASA.
NASA. Makes sense. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Their gravity explanation prime.
They have a How did they?
It's in the FAQ. So if you go down and look on the left, there's
What is gravity? Gravity is as a theory is false. Objects simply fall. That's really like they explain it very in depth right there.
Oh, let's see. Isaac Newton was 1500. So 500 years of intense, rigorous studies. No, things just fall.
You could measure it. I don't know. It's hard to believe people really buy into it, man.
I mean, the Australians, dude. I don't know how they live.
Yeah, they're on the other side, right?
Yeah, and
Upside down.
all the stuff falls down.
So what's the deal with that joke? Do you know, Frank? Because I never got that.
It's
Aussies
because
are
like
upside down.
one of the flat earthers, like I think it's from this, is he had a YouTube video and he was like, water always seeks its level and stuff, and then it's just being. I don't even know if that's flat Earth. Is it?
The Aussies being upside down? No, that's way before flat Earth
That's what I thought.
or after, depending on.
Is that kind of like a time to like the land down under term or?
It's about like
Down
how,
under. They always say down under, and now everything there's upside down. Common joke. I don't know where it comes from.
Australian waterfalls.
I don't even know. How to,
Waterfalls.
it's gonna fall.
Well,
Yeah, there's no way I can be able to search this. How am I gonna find the meaning of that? No way.
I'm taking this back to you, Matt. What kind of music do you like, man?
I'll listen to almost anything. It's weird from where I grew up around here, but I can't stand country music.
Dude, it's your culture, though.
Well, I mean, you guys know me well enough. I didn't fit into any of that growing up.
That's true. Me neither, man. Not a big fan.
I didn't own my first legitimate pair of jeans until sophomore year of high school.
That's
City
crazy.
Boys. City boys.
Damn city boys.
I still only own I think I own 2 pairs of jeans, and they just rotate from when I had to go to work and had to wear jeans.
Yeah.
It's the twang. I hate the twang. Like
I
there's
hate all the cheesy.
Yeah.
But I think EDM follows some of those cheesy things as well. Like it's very thematic, you know.
well, yeah, like you're gonna get some, especially like the future based stuff, and like progressive house. You're gonna get a lot of like overly emotional,
Like sayings
in your future. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing about EDM with like emotional like kind of choruses, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
And then
Dude, the crazy thing is like the psi waves and stuff that's coming out. Like there's like Jordan Peterson wave and crap now.
talking about.
Like people
Oh,
make
the way the oscillation works and
yeah,
stuff.
they just use I'll show you. It's like they literally make music and it's just like Jordan Peterson talking.
Even more impressive.
It's him talking. Like that's a whole theme. What would you call that? What's that subgenre?
JBP wave.
But there's
Oh, this is like lo-fi stuff.
Yeah, it's like weird.
and then it's like him speaking, and it's
Yeah.
just like real.
Dude, there's so many different genres coming about now.
I like is there some of them are like people always says the same, and everything's dubstep to people that don't know like what it is, even though they're completely drastically different. But
You are a subgenre expert, Matt. You have been for a long time.
I just
bro.
care.
Sit here and talk
I
about
care.
it.
Dude, there are so many
like,
subgenres
is
now.
it something that needs to be like talked about? Is it really that important? No, not really. To a point, yeah.
But neither is football, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But like I care, so I like to know like this kind of fits into this.
It's entertainment at its finest.
But I watched a video today of a producer, and so when you open up FL Studio, which is a DAW where you make music, your channels that you make stuff with, the default before you put anything into it is there's a kick, a clap, a hi-hat cymbal, and a snare. And this guy turned all of that into a full dubstep drop, making a full bass, a sub bass with like sustained notes and
No way.
dubstep growls with
Just those?
yeah, he made a whole little drop out of 4 sounds by
Wow.
sampling. For the bass, he kept resampling and stretching the kick to get a constant until it was long enough where there was a constant middle. And he used that in all the post processing. He took the click of the bass and turned that into little dubstep growls.
Wow.
It's crazy what you can do. Like even like
Dude, there's so many plugins for all that stuff now too. Holy cow.
His videos are entertaining because like a lot of them are he'll take like stupid stuff and he'll turn it into a track. One of them was a sound of a monkey. He made a track out of his
Who is
toilet.
this?
Eliminate.
Eliminate.
I feel like that's kind of an interesting thing to do. Art is to, by default, limit yourself.
It's the first one, but he also turned his toilet flushing into a track. He sampled his toilet flushing, and he made that into sounds to.
Matt, would you ever want to do something like this?
If I ever got good enough, this is like years and years of honing your craft.
Yeah, dude,
get
you got to
to that
know how
level.
the program works.
And that's just with sampling and resampling, all those things right there. There's a one where he took a monkey video, made that into a trap track.
Wow. That's interesting. I'm going to have to check him out. That's gnarly. You ever seen those videos where they like overlay Martin Garrix's tracks onto each other? And they're all like, they all sound somewhat, they're fine.
But
Because it's the same, he uses
It's the same structure.
formula.
It's the same
Yeah.
structure.
I feel like a lot of the big EDM artists do that, though.
Well, you have your intro, you have your break, you have your build up, you have your drop. You have your break, you have your build up, you have a drop. And that's typically like you follow pop music, you have a verse, some have a pre-chorus, and then you have a chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. Chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe end up with that nice little keychain at the end. In love songs, you ever heard that? The little octave change.
Yeah.
It's the best.
That's late 90s, early 2000s cheese.
I've been listening to a lot of Boys to Men. I love it, bro. It's just 4 black dudes out here singing about the same girl. Gets me going.
Dude, some people don't know who Boys to Men is, and it's really, it's
really
upsetting.
sad.
It's upsetting.
Yeah. I like it. That's for sure. It's the number 2.
Early 2000s proms wouldn't be
Oh,
the same
yeah.
without like the boy band scene.
I know, dude.
Boys to Men aren't. I guess they're a boy band, but they were cool.
Dude, the boy bands were the greatest. I thought they were awesome.
Frank, you're a big boy band guy.
I remember getting excited about Big Time Rush, and I was in high school.
I don't even. Was that a TV show?
Yeah, but they were
show.
actually a legitimate boy
Oh,
band too,
wow.
though.
That's how you know the whole genre was dying when they make a TV show about the genre.
Yeah.
Oh, musicians acting is like one of the worst things ever. I remember B2K, which is where Amari
Or
on.
actors musicianing. You know, it's probably that way around with the Big Time Rush boys.
Although I was watching a video of Paris Hilton DJing at like one of the big festivals.
Paris Hilton.
I can't tell if it was a pre-recorded thing, but watching it, it looks like she knows what she's doing.
I don't know. Have you ever seen some of those videos? She's.
Oh, she's not all there.
I've seen some of her videos. I just don't think they're any of the
Oh my
DJ
god.
ones.
Like
I don't
Valley Girl. It's almost like she talks like Valley Girl. Right?
Yeah, she invented that shit. Yeah.
I don't know. It's people who try to cross between like the big screen entertainment to the music entertainment. Some people do it okay. Some people should have never tried.
DJ Psychedelic.
Jonas Brothers.
Shaq, he DJ.
Oh, DJ Diesel.
Shaq is
Diesel,
great.
yeah.
Shaq did one with Little John recently.
It's Lil Jon and Nightmare. It's called Bang, and the song.
Yeah.
Dude, that song goes hard.
Oh,
I play
yeah.
that every time I'm trying to do anything with a dubstep set. That thing is dropped in immediately. But I remember when I went to Lost Lands 2 years ago in 2018. The rumor was for the secret guest. I guess there were rumors that it was someone that started with an S.
Oh.
So everyone was thinking Skrillex, which would have been just fucking nuts. And I guess like if you want to follow,
That's not one you keep
it's
secret
Shaq.
though. If you're a festival, you put Skrillex on the headliner, bro.
Yeah.
But Shaq would be a good.
Oh, it was
secret guest.
nuts. Granted, that
Shaq was there. You saw him?
yeah.
That's
I can show you guys later.
Yeah.
He's walking across the front fence, and me and my buddy we kind of got a picture of him just kind of walking by. But he's
a big dude.
God, it is you don't realize how big this man is until he's like there.
They're like mountains.
Shaq?
Yeah, like all the big men from the NBA are so big.
Oh, that man could take his pinky and his thumb and kill me. Like all he'd have to do is like this. I'm done.
Crush your head and just
It's-
palming. It's like his hand wraps around half the basketball. He broke backboards.
Awesome.
Then he's just jamming out now.
I love how everyone's a fan of Shaq. Like he's the most marketable person of all time.
Do you guys ever see that video of Shaq and his kids in quarantine with him DJing? There's a video of him and he's just in like it looks like his kitchen and he just has his DJ stuff out and his family's just going nuts.
Oh, hell
His
yeah.
kids are going nuts
Nice.
in the background, and it's just like the 5 of them.
There were so many of those streams coming out, like during the quarantine. All the producers were all doing. You did some, right?
Me and my buddy do a weekly stream on
Oh, nice.
Thursdays, so we get about 10 people.
What's that on?
How do the people see it?
Yeah.
Make our fans yours.
Twitch.tv/Noah Draper _music. Noah Draper is NOAHDRAPER _music. And I think mine is, we do it on his just because he has all the OBS stuff, but we were agreed we're going to alternate channels so I can get some stuff on mine. And I think mine is Sunwoo,
Nice.
Twitch.tv/Sunwoo.
It's like the
If we
like,
follow you
did
on like
name that?
Twitter or Instagram, are you gonna post about it so people can come find you?
Well, yeah, I would. More
Well,
people, the better.
Follow you, Matthew Rable, then.
Like Sunwoo, like Sun Wukong.
What?
Oh, never mind. The Monkey King. Sun Wukong. You guys never heard of the Monkey King, Sun
No,
Wukong?
No.
That's what Dragon Ball is based off of.
What
I thought
is-
Dragon Ball was based off Journey to the West, or is that a character in Journey in the West?
I'm pretty sure he is.
See, I just use Sunwoo because that's my Korean name, so that's what my stage name was.
There you go. And you have a tattoo of it somewhere, right?
Yeah, see, he was the main character in the Journey to the West.
I want to read that book, but I heard you lose a lot of the
Because
stuff in the translation.
the symbol is we don't have words for a lot of their symbols. Because there's like 4,000 or 5,000 different Mandarin symbols, and there's not enough words to like, they can't be translated.
That's kind of a hard concept to grasp.
Mandarin oranges.
Yeah. If you type in Mandarin into Google, the first thing that comes up is Mandarin oranges. Nice. Not
You guys ever done that before?
Okay, there's over 50,000 different characters.
How many words are in the English language though?
Probably not that much.
more than 50,000? Ever seen
I
a
doubt
dictionary?
it.
I don't. I wonder. I don't think there is.
I don't think there is. Okay, never mind. 171,000.
Yep.
They just don't have words to translate into them. We don't have words for it yet.
Not direct translation.
Yeah, not direct translations.
Yeah.
But 50,000 of them are obsolete.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Know what we got to do? Go into those obsolete words and just start using them.
I feel like a lot of that's like the old English stuff, like thouest, must bringeth me.
You'd be surprised how much of the words that were like that are slang now were used in like the 1800s. I'm thinking of
Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Shakespeare read a lot of that stuff.
It's like memes. Meme is not a new word. Memes have been around since like the 70s. I think Charles Darwin, or not Charles Darwin. Not the biologist, the evolutionary guy. He's Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins. I think he wrote a book about it.
About memes?
Yeah, they're just like archetypical symbols. But that's another.
If you know, you know.
I'm a meme whore, bro. I love memes.
Mine are a little too
fires
dark.
me up.
Mine are dark in humor.
Oh, you get along with Frank's memes, man. Oof. Frank, your memes make me feel, man. Not good, but I feel.
I have a lot of answers for the big man upstairs when my time comes for my memes. It's one of those things where it's like it's the FBI going like looking like through your history, like search history and stuff. And
Or it's God. It's God. He's
and then it's
judging
God
whether or not to
looking
send you
over.
mad.
He's just so disappointed.
Oh,
Like,
gosh.
Like, have you seen your memes? Like, nah, man. I can explain. It was funny.
it was situational. It was funny in the moment.
You never know. Maybe, dude, God made evil and good, so he might have some dark humor too.
Well, it's funny because a lot of them don't need context. Like it's some of the funny ones need context.
Yeah.
But some of them you just look at them and it's like, God damn it! Like,
Dude, it's
the
so
people
weird.
who come up with this are fucked.
Frank came up with some memes, and they are too dank for my taste. But I'm sure some people on the dark sides of the internet would really enjoy them.
That's what Reddit's for.
He's Frank's way beyond Reddit, bro.
Yeah.
That's way too
4chan?
mainstream for his ass.
4chan's pretty good.
8chan,
And 8chan shut down. Unfortunately, they got
Clover, is that one of them? Clover.
yeah, that's like 4chan's.
That was
symbol.
overarching.
Yeah, there's like 3chan, 4chan, other chans.
Never been on the chans.
They're just message boards. They're like image boards, like Reddit. That's what the internet was. It was just a bunch of, but like before the World Wide Web, there was Usenet, and it was just a collection of bulletin boards, like community bulletin boards.
Mostly for scientific purposes, though, right?
Somewhat. I mean, a lot of them were like each town had a somewhat of a community bulletin board.
So just digitalize like a bulletin board.
Yeah. So like, what is it? You can still use a lot of the old services that were on the internet. Like before, like searching and stuff was big. You could use IRQ, which is that like it was like a bot chat, and like you could tell the bot to like get you a book or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was old style.
Dude, I've been on services like that. I was trying to pirate textbooks for school. And there's like, if you go into certain parts of the internet, you can just like search the entire internet for downloadable PDFs on basically anything. I didn't have any luck, but there's definitely some whack shit on there.
Yeah, so like before the World Wide Web, there was Usenet, and so you'd have to go through a Usenet provider, and like if you ever want to find stuff that was on the really old internet, is you go to the Usenet, and you can all it is just like they're categorized in these news groups, they're called, and like so you go to whatever news group you want to learn about, and it was just like everyone just posted files or whatever, and you could download them and read them, whatever. That was the internet.
One thing I don't understand is where any of this stuff is stored. Because it's got to be stored physically somewhere.
Yeah, it's the servers that are it's the old providers that are continuing.
Do we have a comprehensible amount of how much data is on the internet?
There's a lot. I know that like
it's
the connection between North America and Europe, it's like petabyte speed.
Like
So
on the fiber cables?
Yeah, the fiber cables under the ocean, it's like petabytes a second.
which I don't for
That's
the
like
normal consumer has no comp.
Is that
most
1,000 terabytes?
It's 1,000 terabytes.
yeah, most people are used to like kilobyte stuff, megabyte stuff downloading.
Gigabytes or
Gigabytes for like bigger movies and stuff, but like even a movie is
normally
I
a
don't know,
couple gigs.
a few gigabytes, and this is thousands and thousands and like times thousands times thousands of
be 100
gigabytes.
And that's
It'd be a million gigabytes to a petabyte.
And that's a little different than like just the amount of storage because that's bandwidth too. That's just data
Yeah.
passing through. Like, because it's not like you're re-uploading a show every time you're watching it. It's just you're pulling it from a server.
They say, oh, speaking of that, like for pulling it from servers and stuff, how you say you can just kind of find stuff like the pirate textbook. Apparently, there's a way. I haven't tried it because I just didn't care. If you type in a movie name that you want to watch and you type in Google Drive, someone has it on like an open source Google Drive that you can just watch whatever.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at this. There are 4 billion active users on the internet every day. There are
3 billion people need to figure out what the hell is going on and get on the internet.
2.5 quintillion bytes are created every day. 223 million emails. 5.5 billion
Wait,
Google searches.
go back to the email. There's a parentheses and it says the majority of them are spam emails. they make that clear.
Yeah, email marketing is dead.
3,410,000 milliwatts of electricity used. Look, 5 billion gigabytes of internet traffic daily.
Wait, that's how much CO2 emission is caused by using the internet?
I don't know how I feel like that. I don't know how you
They
could
measure
really
it, man.
That
measure
that might
very
be
well.
like powering like electric. I don't know how that.
You have to
That's
have some
like
sort of
that.
standard, right? So maybe they're using like...
Well, that's like, then you'd have to move all the way down the line, like who's producing the electricity.
No, just how, right? So
No, all the
if you're burning
cables
coal,
used
it
to-
produces more CO2 than other stuff does.
I think we're just breathing in a lot of CO2 created by the cables all around us right now.
Yeah.
They're just giving off CO2.
I think CO2 is good. CO2 is what plants take in.
You know what's better than CO2? CO.
CO, what?
Carbon monoxide.
Oh, yeah. Chemistry jokes.
There was like a period in Earth, I think like a few 100 million years ago, that it was the lowest point of carbon dioxide, and that was one of the times in Earth's history that life died out because of the crustaceans in the ocean they use CO2 to make their shells, and they were getting so massive that they were using up all of the CO2, and that's why there's so much that's why there's so much oil and stuff now, because all that
shells.
crustaceans had CO2 stored in their shell.
Shout out to the crustaceans.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. So CO2, this is just me nerding out from like the stuff I've learned. Your body's breathing pattern, you're regulated by CO2, not oxygen.
I think I've heard that.
So if you're higher in CO2, I think I really should know this. That's why, like, when you hyperventilate and stuff and you breathe into a paper bag, when you're hyperventilating, you're giving off too much CO2. So your blood becomes basic. So you're breathing into a paper bag to rebreathe some of that CO2. So your pH goes back into a normal range.
Okay, so you get too much oxygen and then you need more CO2.
So it's CO2 levels that are maintained. So
Okay.
like you're giving off too much CO2. Your blood becomes all basic. You need to retain CO2 to have it go acidize it to a normal level. And that's why like people who are breathing super slowly, they're not giving off enough, so their body will have lower CO2.
That's why they breathe in the paper bags.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. Well, you guys want to take a break?
Sure.
Sound good?
Yep. Cheers.
We're back.
You guys missed out on some good conversation. I swear to God, the breaks in these are as much fun as doing the actual podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's almost like you want to leave, like you turn the camera off, but you just want to leave the audio in.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
I should start doing that.
What?
Just
For the break?
Yeah,
Just have like
leave-
a mic?
Yeah, just a mic recording off in the background.
Or you forget to turn the mics off,
Yeah, there you go.
and then you hear like people start saying stuff that shouldn't be said.
That's the
probably.
problem.
Yeah, we might have to clip that, but we can
Yeah.
do it. That'd be fun.
There'd definitely be there'd be definitely something there.
That's what editing's for.
Yeah, exactly.
See, Frank, what you should do is mic up the entire house. And then whenever anyone comes over, just record everything they say, and they say anything stupid, use it against them, blackmail.
Oh, always.
rich.
Epstein shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't. So at at my job, at one of my old jobs, they had those little pen things that you could write and they would illuminate, and you just had to press a button to delete it. So I would always write Epstein didn't kill myself on them and leave that. Or I'd always write something super polarizing on them.
Dude, that whole thing is that you don't hear anything about the Epstein stuff anymore.
People still say it. What are you gonna do though? Like,
Yeah,
they
that's
got away
true.
with it, bro. They got away with it.
They did.
Memes are the greatest way of not letting something die.
Yeah, that's true.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Yeah, that is true. Like,
I think it was 3 or 4. I made a point about it. It was 3 or 4 days ago. Was the 4th year anniversary.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, you are right.
Goddamn.
Freshman year of college, going through, everyone's partying their balls off, and the amount of Harambe chants and like stuff like that was going on, it was so funny. Dicks out for Harambe was real, and people were whipping their dicks out.
It's crazy for me because that's so close to it's Cincinnati Zoo.
yeah,
So-
you were right.
You want to talk about like that stuff going nuts? Like
Dude, they're probably going crazy in Cincinnati.
it was
For the
it was
memes.
insane.
That's such a
for
funny
the
one.
meme, for the
That's
memes.
such a funny one.
Meme
Oh,
heaven, meme graveyard now. But 3 days later, he arose.
So we were talking about aerogels during the break. Aerogels, dude, they're expensive.
Wait, is that the discount quantity? Now, what's the?
So aerogels are like this super. It's 99% air. It's just this weird, clear material. They take all the air out, and it just makes this super rigid structure that's super resistant to heat.
And they're normally small just because of the process they make it. We just saw a great YouTube video on it. It's entertaining. Interesting thing, it's super good at insulation because air is a great insulator.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And,
the price it's showing us and the dimensions, it's saying one of them, because they're not buying in bulk, $35, and it's about the size of an end of a USB
Wow.
for $35. I mean, that's about what 3 by 1 centimeters is, right?
Yeah, it is.
About the end of a
Frank,
USB.
we might have to get in the aerogel game, but
Figure out how to make some
Yeah,
aerogel.
Stonks.
Yeah, there we go. Dude, there's dude made it in 31. If he made it in 31, we can make it now.
we could.
Do you have an autoclave?
Make one of those.
Can you 3D print an autoclave with the heating element?
We'd have to make the heating element.
Yeah, Frank, I was looking at your printer. What do you plan on doing with it? Anything?
Nothing yet. I was planning on just producing certain things that are kind of expensive right now and seeing if I can sell them.
What kind of things?
Like
Toilet paper.
3D print toilet paper. No, but like foreign car parts and stuff like that. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I feel like
Farm shit.
the whole 3D printer space is for hobbyists right now. Like,
Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of
They're
farmers
niche.
are getting them just because it's very useful.
but you can only make parts that are so big, and to me, I'm not real impressed with like the material.
You can buy. I was gonna get it's like $150, and it makes your 3D printer be able to print on a 3 by 3 foot area. So then you can print a lot of stuff.
For sure, but like, I don't know. I'm just not overly impressed with what I've seen. I think on a commercial level, they've done some interesting things. Kyle's brother actually works with 3D printers. He's
Oh,
like,
nice.
Are you talking more about the consumer level stuff though?
yeah, I mean, just how useful is it, versus regular manufacturing processes? Like,
Now you can get exotic filament, and like now you can print carbon fiber and metals.
Some of them are used for
yeah, but if they're like, like they kind of, you can tell it's printed in strips, kind of.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes it limited, just that
So
texture. And
right there, you can if you print with this material called ABS, is you can actually wipe it down with isopropanol.
and it melts off the ridge.
Yeah, and it smooths it out and everything, fills it in.
I know a lot of
That's
them.
actually what Kyle's brother does. He specializes in commercial. They like dip it in some
Yeah,
chemical, and
yeah.
it makes it all smooth.
I know you can use them for like certain like niche needs for like some people make retainers just out of them or stuff like that.
For your teeth?
Yeah, you'll hear like those kind of stories. Some people make it's just super like something breaks. It's really expensive, but they kind of need it, so they'll do that instead.
I feel like if you're dick around with cards and stuff like that a lot,
Yeah, or it's just like medical parts too.
Prosthetics. Some
Yeah.
prosthetics are 3D printed.
I should 3D print like a prosthetic arm, an
or
extended
a
arm.
prosthetic penis, so you can finally please a woman, Frank.
Yeah.
There's a prosthetics place right off campus, and it's just why the fuck is there a prosthetics place right near like where all the nightlife district of college
Dude,
is?
that's like cyberpunk shit.
And the joke is like you always see someone go in. No, you never see anyone leave the place.
It's just a front. It's like people think Long John Silver's is a whole front for money laundering. Like none of them actually have any customers.
I have no doubt all of the mattress stores are just fronts for money laundering. How many people buy mattresses? There's like 5 mattress stores in like certain cities.
Someone's got to be buying them.
If anyone in Cincinnati off campus is listening to this, there's a little shop called Viv's that everyone goes and buys like alcohol from. Right next to that there's a mattress store.
There you go.
They're never open. There's a phone number on there. It's lined with mattresses, and it's not like a big store either. It's almost like this little narrow corridor that just has a display of mattresses like along the wall, just leaning against it. That's definitely it's definitely a laundry.
You never
front.
see people buying mattresses.
And it's really shitty because I was actually looking for a mattress at one point in time, and I tried calling that place to actually get a mattress. I got nothing.
There you go. I bet those mattress firms are all over the place.
But you see commercials for them too. Like if it was just, you wouldn't want people to know about it. If
You gotta sell it, dude.
Yeah, make it more marketable. The more realistic you make it seem, no one's gonna bother you. So if you buy like advertisements and stuff,
That's
guess
like
that runs deep.
laundromats. Look at all of these places. There's like 20 mattress firms just in Ohio.
Yeah,
How many people are buying mattresses?
I don't know, man. I don't really understand how money laundering works to a T. Like if someone said, "Hey, you got to launder this money," I would know how to do it. But
You have dirty money, and you can't just go and deposit that in your bank account, because if you have deposit large amounts in the bank
you
account,
record it as income from your business.
yeah, exactly. And then you clean the money.
And you pay taxes on it and all that shit.
or you just put it in a Swedish bank account and no one knows it's there except you.
Offshore, yeah.
Hey,
But the problem
I've
is
seen
when you
Wolf of Wall
spend
Street.
it,
Yeah.
that's where you get caught.
You know what? Like we're talking about like illegal things with money. I don't get why people are counterfeiting hundreds and 50s. If you really want to be believable with counterfeits, counterfeit 20s. No one questions $20 bills.
You just got to print a lot more. That's the problem.
I know, but like,
You
who cares at that point? You're printing off money and not condoning this. No one's going to question that though. People are always going to be like hundreds. They're going to do that strip test or 50s. 50s are like, they're higher. They're going to be kind of suspicious. Everyone pays with 20s. You go to the store, you have a thing that's like $1.46. You have a 20. You just make change.
The problem is the paper they print on is like proprietary to the Fed, and so like to get large amounts of the paper would be almost impossible, and that's why they've counted
Sure,
for
but
bigger.
you don't have to be. If you're going to fake money, it doesn't have to be exactly right.
You just need to
No,
fool a
yeah.
store and make your change with the legitimate money.
There was a guy got caught counterfeiting, and his counterfeits were better. They were almost better than the real ones. Which is crazy to think about. But he had like a full like money printing machine from a old Fed bank or something. He went all out on it. I think Vice did a documentary on
Yeah,
it.
I believe I've seen that. Interesting stuff. I've seen fake money at the wine store. Sometimes we get fake hundreds.
Seriously?
What do you do about it? Do you just kind of turn a blind eye or?
Well, no. Obviously, if you can tell, you say this isn't real, and then that guy is super embarrassed. There was one guy who came through and did it a couple times, and what happened was I just took his money. It was a $100 bill for like something small. Gave him change. No big deal. But people said that guy has done counterfeiting here before. So if you see him come through again, make sure you check his hundreds, because I don't working there. I'd never used the markers once until that guy came through. But
You don't really
most of the
think
time it was
about
real. And it's hard to say whether or not he was paid with fake money. And then how are you supposed to know, right?
But if you use it, you're going to be liable for it.
It's true, but like, sometimes I guess that could lead to a very embarrassing situation.
Especially if you're fully convinced.
Yeah, if you thought it was real.
Well, you think it's real, it sucks, and then you're out of whatever that amount
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, but basically how it goes, if you do get fake money, the bank counts it and can tell it's fake. They let you know there's fake money coming around. They alert all the authorities, all the local businesses. The chains of communication in these small businesses, incredible. I mean, at the wine store, for example, we knew when they'd have like sting operations to see if you're selling to underages. Basically, we knew from the beer supplier whether or not that was going to happen this weekend or this day. Or
Wow.
So you'd get alert, you say, hey, I mean, of course, we always check IDs and stuff like that, but hey, make sure you really check everyone's ID, even if they're old. Like, just check it. And so we would that weekend super hard, even if you're old. But it was kind of embarrassing because sometimes people would come through, and maybe they don't have their ID on them, and they're obviously over 21.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know,
Sorry.
Dude, that's when I would.
no,
I
I always let them go.
Yeah,
If it's obvious, for sure, let them go.
if they look over 35, you let them go.
Mm-hmm. But also, if they're old and like older women, if you ask for ID, they're all flattered and stuff. So.
And it's like, how old do you think I am? Younger than what it says. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's always a fun thing. I think
I'm gonna look like this till I'm 50. I'm gonna get ID the rest of my life.
your Asian genes, Matt. You're gonna
Bruh.
be young forever.
Dude, they stay young forever.
This beard is doing two things. It's making me look a little older, and it hides my double chin.
There you go.
My beard keeps me from looking like I have cancer. Too skinny to be bald. That's a fact.
But
Damn.
Frank's mustache makes him look less Italian.
dude,
Your high school stash was such a pedophile stash.
oh yeah.
Whose
Dude.
isn't though?
That's the problem with the Italian hair. It's just like it grows so fast.
Yeah, dude, you grow facial hair in like a day.
It's stupid.
This is like months and months of
Lucky.
just letting it go. No, not lucky.
And don't have to shave as much, man.
I would rather not want to shave,
It
Same.
depends.
but
I wish I had it.
What, more facial hair?
Yeah.
It's kind of in right now. A lot of people have beards.
Well, I mean, the quarantine probably has something to do with that. It's like,
Sure,
who gives
but,
a shit?
Like
how
even
I
like
look.
famous people, like athletes and stuff, they rock beards a lot.
It's a masculinity thing.
yeah.
Is
I
that an
think
overrated?
so.
Is that an overrated aspect? Yeah. Do I want it? Yeah.
Dude, it's like long hair. Like, you know why? Long hair used to be a sign of royalty because the people that could only grow long hair were the ones that could bathe daily.
And take care of
Before
it.
the 1900s, because in the early 1900s, there was a big push in the 10s and the 20s to like, it was like the straight edge movement, kind of like everyone clean cut, suits, everything like that.
Your businessman.
Exactly.
attire.
And that was when like long hair kind of stopped being seen as much and then until the 70s and 60s. But yeah, before the 1900s and well, in the medieval times especially, because you couldn't if you didn't have the ability to bathe daily, then you probably get lice or something like that. So everyone had to cut their hair.
Or get dirty and
Yeah, exactly. The women still grew their hair out long that time. But yeah, the men in the medieval times, that would be a sign of royalty, much like purple.
I heard a lot of like the old things. We're off of that. A lot of like the old depictions of royalty women, they were wigs. They were bald too because of that same reason, because they didn't have the things to take care of it to keep from getting like lice and stuff like that. So like these prominent figures. So there's like some people say Cleopatra was bald and it was a wig.
That's interesting.
I always like going to art museums.
Yeah.
We'll have like period paintings of like portraits of families. Like a lot of times, a large majority of what the art is that. So if you're like a really rich dude, you paint your family, you paint yourself, and the things depicted in those pictures are always really, really neat to me because they do tell a story in a snapshot of the time period with this beautiful painting that looks hyper realistic.
It's also like why they didn't smile. It's because you had to sit there so long for a painting that you know how much it would suck just to.
Plus, it's just a cultural thing, right?
Yeah, stoicism.
So with photography, how long the shutter used to be on old photography,
Oh yeah,
they say that if something, you're going to be blurry. If anything, in old photography where the shutter speed used to be that long, if it's clear, they're probably dead. Because they're not moving.
I don't know about it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
we have
No, because the shutter speed was so slow, you'd have to sit there for almost like a minute or something like that. And
we have
to move. So the live people will be ever so slightly blurry, and if they had like they'll take it was a thing. They would like take pictures with their like dead child or something like that, and the child would be clear because they're not moving during the shutter speed.
I don't know because
Yes.
we have family portraits like from the 1800s.
Yeah, but I feel like camera technology progressed pretty quickly.
It was like the 1860s, I believe.
Look it up.
Like,
I'm not
yeah.
lying. While he's looking this up, twitch.tv/SUNWOO0697.
Catch your man. Do you do on like a certain day?
We do Thursday on Twitch.
What time?
So we typically start at 7 or 8. Just keep track of the social media. We always post about it. And we'll go for a couple hours. It's typically going to be electronic music. So if that's not your vibe, cool for you.
It's not your vibe. Check it out anyways.
Yeah,
for
you
our
can
boy
fuck
Matt.
off and I'll make it your vibe. It's good ambient music too. Like if you just need something in the background. For us, it's just filling an empty void in our
Dude, this is gonna be
currently
hard to find.
non-existent.
Quarantine lives.
Yeah, it sucks. No, type in like blurry dead people. I don't know. Can't in the camera.
That's like I think that might be just a story. You know what I mean? Like that's spooky as shit. And all old photography from that era is spooky.
It's the same concept of like why people didn't smile. Yeah, like that picture right there.
Yikes, bro.
Images.
I knew they would take pictures of the dead, but
Right there, because of the slightly blurred living because of their lack of movement and exposure.
I hate that.
see, I feel like that's only a case certain times.
Well, yeah, but that was just like
here, look at this.
yeah, it's the same thing. People with the long shutter speeds and how long it took for stuff to happen, anyone was moving in like those old pictures, it'd appear a little blurry.
So there are theories about it.
Thank you, Fox.
Why is the Mona Lisa smiling though?
She's grinning.
Details.
I would too if I had to sit there for hours on end for a painting.
See, we would never take pictures.
Post-mortem photography.
Yeah,
See, I knew that
that's
was
not a thing anymore
Yeah.
now, but like
Well, Matt, you might have been onto something, man. Thank Christ, cameras got better, eh? Got a better
Oh
camera in my
gosh.
pocket now, son.
Well, it might have been the case for certain of them, probably for the dead photography. But we have family portraits like around this time period that they're all pretty clear.
but I guarantee if someone was dead in that picture, they'd be clearer.
None of them were dead. I know they weren't dead.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
my grandpa was in one of them.
I'm just saying if
uh,
someone was dead, they might appear a little clearer.
Finally, our grandpa died. Let's take a family picture real fast.
Can you imagine
That's why
like trying to
he'll be
set
clear.
can you imagine trying to set that up nowadays where family member dies, instead of a big funeral, you just get a big photography picture with them? Like that's your remembrance.
The weird thing is like, it wasn't until like the 60s that people stopped dying in the homes. Like most of the time you would die at your own house. Now it's not. Now it's the opposite.
Yeah,
now you
now
die
you're
in
in
a
a hospital.
hospital.
I think
Or
a lot of people die in their house still.
I would say a residential home. I wouldn't say their home.
Yeah.
I'd say more like a nursing home or a care facility. I'm sure there's exceptions, but I feel like most of them are in a hospital or a.
we just keep people alive long.
That's an interesting thing to think about too. Like, we're always trying to figure out extending the longevity of life. At what point do we not?
It's a dilemma.
Yeah.
It's a big ethical thing because at what point, like, at that point, muscles are atrophied, bones are breaking down. You have
that's
numerous
just-
conditions. That
That's
you're
just your body telling your body's DNA is losing its ends, and that's aging. So you have like the ends of DNA. There's telomeres, and then they slowly unravel as you age, and so the DNA becomes corrupted. That's why like old people, they'll start getting hair in their ears because the ear cells will start being corrupted, and I believe those corrupt earlier than the other ones, and so the cells like, oh, what are we supposed to be now? Like, oh, hair,
I feel
because
like-
it's the closest one that the DNA matches.
I feel like that's where a lot of stem cell research comes in.
Yeah, 'cause
to
you-
replace that.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you repair those telomeres, then you can, because you constantly are replacing your body. I think it's like
Every 7 years.
every
your whole
7
new
years
body.
your whole body has new cells. We're like it's weird thinking we are just a community of 60 trillion cells.
I love the paradoxes with those too.
Mm-hmm.
If you take like, it's the bottle on the ship, but you can do it with a person. If you take all the cells from the previous 7 years that had died off and like had been replaced, and you made a brand new you with it, which one's the original you?
But it's not 100%. Like some of your cells live longer, right?
Yeah, because like certain like
Teeth or like
Brain.
Brain, yeah.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah. I mean, like the ship in the bottle is like if you every day replace one part of the ship with a new part, and you take the old part and build another ship out of it, what's the original?
that's true.
Paradoxes are fun.
Oh yeah,
The heap. What's a heap?
a heap.
If
like
Like an
so
amount of
you have a
things.
heap of sand.
I was thinking of heap
and-
and like programming wise, but
You have a heap of sand, and you take a single grain of sand away.
Mhm.
Do you still have a heap? Yeah.
So at a certain point,
At what
becomes-
point
I see what you're
is it
saying,
not
yeah.
a heap, or is a heap a non?
It's all open to interpretation.
Like what's a heap?
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't
Is
call
it
it a pile, a bundle maybe. What I do when I'm counting sand, I just count out each grain. I don't even say heap or pile. I just say,
You try to actually quantify it?
yeah, that's 160 pieces of sand.
You counted 160.
Yeah, it's like not that much, but if it's any more than that, I just call it a heap.
Dude, that's like the people who make those like models in the heads of pins and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like, why?
I've seen someone do that before.
It's just insane.
That's neat.
Or graphite at the tip of pencils?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't seen any that small, but one time I was camping with a kid and he was whittling. He'd do pretty small, like little
That's crazy.
bases and stuff. Yeah.
Whittling's fun.
Oh, whittling is fun.
But the only thing I'm really good at whittling is something to stab someone with.
Spear.
It's natural. It's like deep within us.
It's just easy.
Yeah, that is true.
People do like soap whittling. and
Yeah, oh yeah.
That stuff's cool though. And then you ruin their day by getting it wet. Like,
It's like you imagine the old people sitting on their porch just whittling soap.
Yeah. Anyone who's whittling soap now needs to just get on the internet. It's way better. Get on the internet.
Because really, they were just things
Search
to pass time.
Yeah.
So like, the question is, should they die out or not?
I don't know. Do whatever you want, but there's a reason why it is. It's because
Yeah.
there's a lot more shit to do now.
Yeah, exactly.
We have more things that are really fun to do than we have time.
but then you also have those things that are like, why? Like some people's entertainment, which I've done it a couple times. Type in a phrase on Google and see what fucked up things are the
Like suggested
phrases.
searches.
Yeah.
I can say this. One of the things I do is I go on the Mercer County Jail website.
Oh, and search for people that you might know.
If anyone's in, it's like, who do I know?
Yeah, that's what.
Did I see this
pass
coming?
The time. That's some way to pass the
Did
time.
I see this coming?
Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
no.
I like going on government websites and searching how much teachers make and stuff because you can look up any public.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is
Some
true.
of my professors make bank.
Oh yeah.
Do they count as public? So you can go
Private,
look
the
it up.
public schools, they are.
Yeah, you can check. At least, I mean, I think so because I've been able to
Ooh,
find
I
my
wish I would've
professor
done that.
salaries.
Well, yeah, the
That'd be
public
fun.
universities they would have to because they're taxpayer funded.
Only partly though, right?
I mean, most of the money they take in is from taxpayer, and then the money they gain from like tuition and stuff, they just build more crap, and then
UC stands for under construction.
yeah, there you go.
There's been a new project every year I've been on campus.
I think Harvard takes in like billions of dollars from their tuition every year, and they just took it. They took in stimulus.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do you need the stimulus for?
There's a lot of businesses who got PPP money
Yep.
who are doing better than they ever have because of the pandemic. And
Harvard's endowment is $40 billion. That means they make
That's just from tuition?
What's UC?
40 billion?
How much is UC making?
What is endowment? Is that how much money they,
Yeah, they make, and that's how much they make off of tuition and everything.
including government money? And well, they probably have a lot of like research stuff and a lot of
I don't
patents.
believe endowment is government money.
What's UC's? University of Cincinnati.
An endowment, blah,
The
blah, blah.
action of endowing someone. Fucking thanks, Google. I'll use ask.com next time.
It's a donation of money. So that's them getting donated from other rich people.
So it's philanthropy and like alumni and
That's
stuff.
not even tuition then.
Yep, 40 billion a year.
Yep, and they take money. They take in money from the government too.
Shout out to Harvard.
God damn.
UC's endowment. I'm curious about that. OSU, dude, they have like you can get a job at just giant call centers, and you just call alumni and you read a script. My roommate did it.
Yep.
You might want to
sales.
put University of Cincinnati, or else it might give you like
Oh,
Cal,
yeah.
or, Cal or something.
Is there any stuff about Neil Armstrong on campus? Because he used to
Yeah.
teach there, right?
Yeah, in the engineering building, they have a little
Oh, nice.
thing set up for him. He used to teach there.
1.5 billion.
Fucking weak sauce.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
but look at the average cost of tuition is 24,000.
Hey, all I care about is where we get more money from our alum than Miami.
Yeah.
Fuck
Does
Miami.
anyone like Miami?
I
My
don't
sister
know.
graduated from Miami.
Fuck Miami.
Yeah.
I know that.
OU's, that's our rival.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the colleges enrollment's going down too.
OU definitely is. It's an issue.
Well, Miami's I think it's the most expensive public university.
Oh yeah, I can definitely say that.
OSU is up there. UC is on the top 50.
And that should be not that way. It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be a Midwest school.
No, yeah, and plus they're public state schools too.
Like, have you looked how much it goes to Michigan, even in-state? Michigan's pretty damn expensive too.
Yeah, oh yeah, they all are expensive. Harvard before aid, $72,000.
Harvard, yo.
Look at that after aid. Look at that difference. That's how much money they're just throwing around because they know they're gonna make it back.
Yeah. Wow. Harvard has the largest academic endowment in the world.
Well, you got to think of all,
along with Harvard's pension assets, working capital. So it is all of it. It's their pensions, their working, and everything.
So it's basically everything non-institutional charged.
That's what it seems like.
It's everything that's like given to them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You gotta
have
think
the
of-
largest endowment in the world.
I think we should be in the school business.
See, look at this. COVID-19 leaves Harvard in grave financial situation. You're pulling in $40 billion.
They're probably spending it too.
Yeah, the problem is well, let's see how much their whatever the president makes.
Oh, I bet every staff member of Harvard gets paid.
You know what I wish I heard in these mics more, and I wish it was more picked up in the audio?
What?
Is you typing.
Oh, yeah.
I wish the clicking of the keyboard was picked up in the audio.
He makes $908,000.
Oh my God. It's...
Wow.
Wait.
Good on him.
OSU paid Urban like 1 point something million.
What does Saban make? Isn't he the
More
highest
than
paying?
that.
Yeah.
He got paid more than $1 million.
The presidents?
Sports coaches are the highest paid public employees.
They're also bringing in the most money, though.
For Ohio State, the big.
Nick Saban makes $8.9 million.
Sweet.
I remember, so Tommy Tuberville was the old UC coach. Controversial as he may be. He he made 2.2. That was his salary. And people were
Damn.
so furious about it. But
For football?
yeah,
Because UC's not even great at football. They've got some.
we're
good-
getting better. We've won
true.
2 bowl games last year. It just took 2, 4, and 8 seasons to get there from Tuberville. He's running for Alabama Senate, actually.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, our old UC football coach is running for Senate.
Wow. Look at this. The ESPN says Nick Saban makes $11.1 million.
That's ridiculous.
Clemson makes $8.5 million. That's insane.
I guess I can see why Clemson's up there. I just wouldn't have expected it. Same with Florida State or Arizona.
Urban Meyer.
What-
6.4.
My biggest thing is like these rising incomes for these people. It kind of makes you think like the whole college education system is becoming like a club.
Well, look
where
at
it's only like-
the
This is like the entertainment side of it.
Yeah.
So
look
like,
at the jump.
Yeah, dude. Look at that jump.
That's 2.5 million.
He makes $2.5 million, then the second most paid.
And twice as much as Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I guess when you put it in that perspective too.
6.4. That's
But-
a lot. That's so much money, though.
They bring him in.
Yeah.
They bring in the best recruits.
Oh yeah.
So can't blame them. And they bring in way more than that to the university. It's a shame the players aren't getting paid, man.
Big Dick Fick will be on that list soon.
I don't think they should be paid.
The players?
I think they should be allowed to get sponsorships and stuff, but I don't think they should be paid by the university at all. They're being paid by their. Then they don't be educated.
Yeah, they're not getting. They don't have to pay to go to the
Exactly.
What you would hope is that there becomes a secondary way for them to make it to the NFL.
I say
Because-
don't. If you want to go that route, if you want to pay college students, you don't have to go to
Scholarships.
college then, or then you don't have to go to college to go into the NBA.
But it's
I
kind
mean
of a
NFL.
development thing, too.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is they're getting paid by their education.
Yeah, but we all know that those guys aren't going there for their education.
Some of them took it pretty.
Joe Burrow famously said he laughed when a reporter asked him how classes were going. He doesn't go to class.
Yeah,
He's not at LSU. He wasn't at LSU to go to class. He was there to become an NFL quarterback.
that's what I mean. It's like you're not. It's very unfair to be paid. You don't have to go to classes and you can get a degree too.
I'm sure whatever degree you got was.
Yeah, but it's worth something still.
I have some friends who were in the classes with some of the athletes. Fun fact: have you ever taken a chance to look at the cumulative GPA of your sports teams? No. They are high. They're higher than you would think they are.
Well,
Granted, a lot of them are in
all their homework.
Yeah.
well, that, and granted, they are in, some of them are in bullshit majors that they're there. They didn't come for school, but you still don't think it'd be that high.
The average GPA for OSU football student is 2.92.
Like UC's football,
It's not
UC's
crazy.
It's pretty high.
UC's football GPA I think was like 3.3 or 3.2.
That's very high.
I might be wrong.
Dude.
I might be wrong.
It depends on the degree for sure. Because I had a 3.4, and I didn't sweat too hard. But I also I didn't have a full-time job being an athlete either, so
Yeah, it's 3.32.
pretty sweet.
That's so high.
Wow, UC kids are so smart, Matt. You're in such a smart group of people.
I better. I'm fucking paid.
Yeah.
I paid out the ass for it.
Yeah,
I'm 44, and I calculated how much approximately I'm in debt. 44.
that's a bit.
$44, that's not bad, man. Not bad at all.
But
Good on you.
Except when your annual salary before taxes is 44.
Just don't spend any money for a year, man.
Well, or don't pay taxes.
my biggest thing is it's creating a surf society because you can't escape the debt.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
My old roommate has more debt than when he graduated because of the interest.
Yeah, there you go. It's ridiculous. You're like enslaving a whole generation in serfdom. They have to work because they're indebted.
It depends on how you look at it and what you did with your time. It can be a great stepping stone.
I forget what it is.
Some people it's not.
They said there was a thing that said if you have zero debt and you have $10, you are richer than like 70% of the U.S. population.
I can definitely see that. Most people
With $10 and no
yeah,
debt.
most people pay or paycheck to paycheck.
Oh yeah. Even people who do well.
Those people that do well are still paying mortgages, though.
Too close to their means, though. Like
Yeah.
you gotta live below your means.
The crazy thing about the whole
That's where
college
minimum wage
debt.
arguments come in.
Yeah. The college debt is so big though now because of how much colleges are charging. Because they get a surefire loan from the government. Like the kid, they have to pay it, and the only way to not pay it is to die.
But then someone else takes it though.
Yeah, and then the family gets.
Yeah, then the family probably will get it.
What was I gonna say? It'll come back to me.
I forget what I was gonna even look up.
What did you just say?
You were talking about minimum wage.
No, we were talking about the college debt, the debt size of college. It's bigger than the mortgage debt now.
Oh, I think that's also because of there are two things I can think. The overemphasis on college and people kind of going for degrees, useless degrees, and then bitching about why they can't find work.
Yeah.
Like there's certain degrees that you're
even
just...
certain degrees. I firmly believe that no matter what degree you get, as long as you really give a shit, you can make it.
Oh, a degree is a degree. Yes. Some are just not nearly as practical as others.
Some aren't as profitable, just the degree's sake. But even if I got a history degree, you could do.
You can be a historian, you can be a teacher, librarian, stuff
You
like
can
that.
still do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like the degree
It's
doesn't
just
matter
proving that you
much.
went to higher education.
Yeah. And you can still get out here and grind and make money if that's what you want to do. You can pay off that degree. But you have to be focused and you have to learn, you have to be skilled in other things. You can't just sit there and think that your knowledge of, Chinese history in the 1700s is going to carry the way.
Yeah, that's true. Or basket weaving.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
You can get a degree in basket weaving, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's just a folktale. I know OU, they're cutting all of their, I guess, what would you call those? Liberal arts.
Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just a general.
Oh yeah,
it says it's a term for a useless
absurd,
class. Like UC has a wine tasting and beer tasting class.
Nice.
Oh, look at this. College majors you never thought existed. Puppetry.
That's a good one.
University.
I think UConn just had a lot of sports programs cut, and there's a lot of talk about how like they shouldn't be in the American Athletic Conference anymore just because they're not competitive.
They are in some sports, though.
Not men's.
They've had some good basketball teams, haven't they? I know the girls have, obviously, but I think the guys have had good teams, too.
The 10 most useless college. Oh, these are probably good.
We just won't be polarizing on what we think about each of them.
Computer science.
Wait, what?
I 100% agree with that. They can't teach it fast enough.
That's fair,
it changes
because it's
way
so
too
evolving.
fast. Google and all of the big tech companies dropped their 4-year degree requirement because they literally it changes too fast.
In the interview process, Frank, some of the places I've applied to, you have to do like a IQ test or solve puzzles and stuff.
Have you
Pretty
seen like
sweet.
mock?
Technically illegal.
It's not an IQ test. It's a
That's what that's the other thing that college is. A college is an IQ test too. It's proven, yeah, because you have you had to have a certain amount of discipline to go through with it, I guess.
Sure, but IQ and discipline are different.
Well, that's what the colleges are testing. That's what the SAT and ACT are.
To a certain extent.
I remember someone was, I think it was Mr. Scott. He's always mentioning how like your IQ is the tool you're given.
Mhm.
Your knowledge is how. Basically, like a higher IQ doesn't mean you're smarter than
It
anyone.
means you can learn
It
shit
means it's
faster.
easier.
Yeah,
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're
Exactly.
going to. Some people have high IQs and they waste it. Some people have low IQs and they put their head down and grind out, and
It is
they're successful.
but it is a good indicator of potentiality.
It's a good screener.
It's a good indicator, maybe. Not as much as having a 2-parent household.
That is true.
There's a whole lot of studies done on shit like that.
I've heard of that stuff.
I believe that.
I ran
It's
some of my own analysis on census data and how much money people make, and the best indicator was 2-parent household.
Fine arts, useless degree, mass media,
Film,
video, photo.
That's kind of like film and video are a lot of freelance stuff.
That's
You're not
what
going to
I
get a
mean.
lot of.
And plus, it's like I feel like a lot of it you really only learn by doing it.
I feel like a lot of the ones they're listing here are things that you can do on your own.
Yes,
I heard
you
I heard for drama and theater arts, a lot of people pay the company to perform for them. So they're paying money to.
To be in a play?
Yeah.
well, they're basing these off the most useless degrees are based off the unemployment rate of those degrees.
But they also look at the alternative
Wow.
majors.
Composition and rhetoric.
See, that's all has to be freelance.
20% unemployment, almost 20%, 17.5.
Yikes.
That's so high.
I feel like you could find work doing that stuff, man.
But it's freelance. Like, if
Sure,
you're gonna write your
still
own things.
employed.
Or I guess you could work for columns and stuff and write like newspaper articles and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, when's the last time do you think someone picked up a magazine and read a magazine? Like one of those.
I just did the
National
other day. I was
Geographic
at
every once in a while.
I was at the hospital the other day and I read that stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Religious studies, education.
Anthropology.
That's the way I've always been little. It's always been weird to me how you have to get a 4-year degree to like teach 4th graders, something like that. Because to me, it's like if you can learn the stuff yourself and teach it, then you can teach it. Why do you have to go to a school just to be able to like?
Well, obviously, because it's run by the government. I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah. But there's definitely people who'd be better teachers than people with a 4-year degree without one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a lot to do with your personality more so than your actual education in the subject. But a lot of that stuff has to help.
I think
hope.
that depends on like what age you're teaching. Like if you're teaching upper level stuff like higher level high school to collegiate stuff, you need to know that things. But if you're teaching more like preschool through like 4th grade, it's definitely more of a personality basis.
Mm-hmm.
Because kids who feel comfortable and feel a connection with their teacher are obviously going to learn a lot more than any student who's very defiant with that teacher, just doesn't care for them at all.
I know,
Zero
I
motivation.
wouldn't want to do it, man. That'd be a tough job.
I know I learned through people that experience it in life a lot easier than people that are just learning it from a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, hands-on experience is the best experience.
They say you can for NPs and stuff. They say you can definitely tell who went straight to grad school and then who worked a few years before they went back to grad school.
I believe it. There's a lot of nurses out there that are pretty much doctors, just as good, like a real experienced nurse.
Yeah,
If you're a nurse practitioner,
You
you're
can do prescriptions and stuff.
you're pretty much a doctor.
I don't.
Most people see NPs nowadays than doctors.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's just not as many doctors. It's way easier to be.
Yeah,
an
their
NP.
rationale is why would I go to school for 12 years when I can just go to school for 6 or now it's turning into a doctorate, so 7 or 8 and do the same thing. Or people who go to be BAs,
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Like they're like, why would I go do this when I can not pay as much and not be as
Oh,
miserable
yeah.
and do this?
Definitely.
And pretty much do the same thing.
Do you feel like a hero yet, Matt?
I haven't done anything yet.
But you're like a potential hero. You're like Hercules when he was training. You know.
I think the most heroic thing I've ever done is my roommate. My roommate got shot with a taser because my other roommate was playing.
Nice.
This is a great story, and it should help spread awareness to why you don't mess with stuff like that. My one roommate had a taser because he was training to do like law enforcement stuff, and he was joking around with it. And my other roommate is across the kitchen, and he pointed it at him, and he shot.
Oh dang.
And I'm up in my room minding my own business, and I just hear Like it sounded like someone smacked the hell
Dropped.
out of the island. And I thought that's what someone did. But then my other roommate, he's screaming. He's like, Matt, come here right now. I just shot Brady with my taser. I'm like, yeah, fucking right. Like I took my sweet ass time like getting up and going to check on it. I get down there, my roommate's laying on the floor, and there's a little puddle of blood from where he hit his head. Like, because he told, I didn't see it happen obviously, but he got shot, and it hit him here.
Oh wow!
It hit him in because it's about 20, 30 feet. It hit here, and it hit right. It missed his dick by a few inches. And he just dropped. So I see that from the top of the stairs. I'm like, oh shit. So I run upstairs, start like looking at it.
Dude, that's an experience.
And you saved
right
his
there.
life.
I didn't save anyone's life, but he said that was one of the coolest things. I took initiative as best I could.
There you
I
go.
assessed for
You got to do something.
how hard did he hit his head.
Yep. As long as you're doing something.
Well,
I could tell so many. You probably all could about all the stupid shit that's going on in college.
So many stupid stories.
Frank saved my ass multiple times, that's for sure. Frank, you're a pretty helpful dude. In stressful situations, you respond very well.
Well, it's good to hear.
Yeah.
I have all the videos. I'm still the guy that like records stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when something's going on, like one of my buddies, he was drunk. He climbed on top of his car, and on his way walking back down his car, he slipped. His ass hit his windshield and cracked it. It was $300 to get it fixed. Because he was so drunk. The same person also pissed in a wine bottle and put it back in the fridge.
Why?
Yikes.
He was.
That's in a frat. It's just.
Oh yeah.
That's
Frat.
why.
Bro, yeah.
That's
You
why.
take normal stupidity and then you take fraternity for stupidity.
Oh, okay. That explains a lot now.
And I don't know. It's so many dumb shit. We could do a whole episode on
Dude,
all the
I'm
dumb fraternity
mystified
stories.
by the frat lord lifestyle. I like it. I like hanging out with them. I used to owe you guys. Super fun. All the frat lords I've ever hung out with. Hilarious time. But it's just like
You don't
a
think you can
funny
live?
happening. Well, I could. I'm about like my friends and my brothers. Like I grew up that way. Like we had each other's backs. I get that aspect of it. But it's like all of the stereotypical things that the frat lords fall into.
Like once you put a label on it.
Like they just buy in. They say words a certain way. At least a lot of them do. They really embrace. Like if a guy's walking in the street and I talk to him, based on what he's wearing and how he's acting, I can pretty much judge whether or not he's in a frat.
Yeah, I can see that.
That being said, once you're in a frat and you know all the chapters, you can see a guy coming down the street.
And you know what frat he's in.
You know what frat he's
Yeah.
in. Like you're
They
like,
all-
this
that's how
guy's
it's-
this guy's a fucking tool. I know exactly where he's in.
That's
Oh, this
weird.
guy's kind of nerdy, but he's like still kind of chill. He's probably in this one.
And you're
And
right
I
70%
go-
of the time.
And then I go, oh, this one's a fucking idiot. He's definitely in mine.
The fun frat. Hell yeah.
I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, dude.
I picked someone up. He used to live on one side of campus, and there's a taco. So he's about here, and there's a Taco Bell over here. Well, when he moved into the fraternity house, which is across campus, he was really drunk at a bar one night here, and he walked towards his old house, and I get a call at 3 a.m. He's like, "Hey, Chang," because that was my nickname in college.
Like,
Sounds a little racist.
Yeah.
it's only,
Yeah. I need picked up. I was like, where are you at? He's like, Taco Bell. I walked to my old house. So he called me at 3 a.m. and he's sitting, the Taco Bell driveway, like right on UC is stupid. It's such a tight turn. And you see, I go to pick him up and he's just sitting on the guardrail that's around the drive-through. And I beep at him. This man drops everything and just sprints across the street. No regard for any traffic. Granted, it's 3 at night, so 3 in the morning, so no one's there. And he was blasted off his mind. He's like, I forgot where I lived.
dude, that's when
That's
you're
tough.
playing with fire there.
Oh yeah. That's never. It's a good story, but it's never fun to be in that position.
No.
If you ever have been. Bad news.
We were
Definitely
camping one time, and he was so drunk that he thought someone said, walk through the fire. So he got up and started walking through the fire and fell. So we had to pull him out, and he burned himself really bad.
This guy
And-
seems like a really intelligent dude. Common sense is there, I can tell.
Well, it was his birthday, so we celebrated hard by shoving a copious amount of alcohol in his face.
Yeah.
But then we also used kamchatka to clean the wound.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh no, it would have been
He
better.
got more infected. Yeah.
Oh yeah, leaving the ash on there would have been the best alternative. But we didn't know any better. We were all
Drunk.
for better or worse terms, yeah. Under control of substance. We didn't think any better, so we just poured Kamchatka on it and beer on it.
At least it's somewhat of a disinfectant. Like the beer, I don't know about the beer.
I don't know if 20% alcohol Kamchatka is cleaning anything.
It'll kill some.
I haven't had Kamchatka since high school, bro.
I think the first time I got drunk was Kamchatka.
So bad.
Probably.
That's
Shout
like
out Brendan
everyone's-
Piper.
Yeah.
Were you there for that winter homecoming after party?
Oh, I don't think so.
Shout out Jenna Berry for getting me home that night.
Yeah.
That was rough.
It's good. It's good to have friends.
It really is. Because now I'm that person driving. Well, I kind of always was. That was just an exception to peer pressure.
Hell yeah, man. Not me, man. I was peer pressuring.
I still.
I was paving the ways, baby. Do it, pussy.
And those are some of the key words to get me to do anything. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a pussy, or you won't do it.
Yeah.
I've gotten myself into a lot of stupid situations by people saying, you won't do it. Don't be a bitch.
Oh yeah, everyone has.
Send it.
Well, you want to call it there?
I would. Matt, thanks for coming on, man. Is
Yeah,
there
thanks for having
anything
me.
You want to say that we haven't covered so far?
Follow me on social media.
Yeah, there you go.
Instagram, Matthew0697.
Check out your new. You just came out with a remix. You threw it on SoundCloud.
I remixed a 2 Friends song called No Drama. Check it out. SoundCloud.com/DJ Sunwoo/DJSUNWOO. Hopefully there's new music posted there. So
Keep at it, man.
yeah.
we'll keep out with the music and see if we can make a
Make something of it.
hobby, a job, or make some kind of income off of
There
it.
you go. You already are.
Already are. I look forward to seeing you DJ down there in Cincy too, man. It'll
Hope
be
you guys
fun.
can make it sometime.
Definitely, dude.
definitely
We definitely
sick,
will come down. But, alrighty.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Peace.